Who are you? And what are you? Go again!
You're so hot.
Excuse me?
No, I mean like you're smoking. No, I didn't mean it like that.
Are you done yet?
Yes, please.
Elemental has been one of Pixar's classics in regards to making their audience feel very strong emotions to the characters they created. Today we're going to go behind the scenes of how they managed to succeed in this film and where the inspiration to this story came from.
The first drawings that I had done were of fire people, and then this fire character and a water character coming into a city. The idea of these elements started off from the periodic table of elements. It always looked like an apartment complex to me, and that concept started from like, oh, what if the elements were characters, but we boil it down to the classical elements like earth, wind, water, and fire.
But before we get into more of these moments, some trivia for you. How many years did it take to make this film from start to finish? Leave your guesses in the comments down below and stick around to the end of the video to find out if your answer was correct.
Watch this.
No! I'm reading the wrong line!
Let's do that again.
For those who are wondering where this story came from, Peter Sohn had revealed it was inspired about his life regarding his parents immigrating to the US from Korea, not speaking English, and settling into the Bronx.
We're using also mitten geometry to combine her fingers as well to go like into a simplistic form of her hand if we needed to.
The hand, for simplicity from a distance, often would be a mitten. But as she would separate her fingers, the animators could, have individual fingers, or they could have a mitt.
Sohn's family also opened a grocery store named Sohn's Fruits and Vegetables, similar to Ember's family in the film. My parents immigrated from Korea in the early 1970s and built a bustling grocery store in the Bronx.
We had to take inspiration from the elements themselves.
Like I would just be staring at fire for long amounts of time. It's weird. And then whenever I would see water, I would be thinking like, this is good reference.
And then trying to pull the essence of that, something from the timing or the spacing or the design of it.
He also stated, "We were among many families who ventured to a new land with hopes and dreams, all of us mixing into one big salad bowl of cultures, languages, and beautiful little neighborhoods. That's what led me to Elemental."
It was a pretty unique challenge. You come on a show and the director immediately wants characters without any bones in it. Usually all our setups are based on bones and joints.
And it took a long, long time and a lot of failed experiments to figure out the approach to make Wade and Ember.
Leah Lewis and Mamoudou Athie voiced these two lovebirds in the story, and we get to hear from them in this interview.
I mean, the process to even audition, that was really shocking. I think it was so surreal that I wasn't as nervous because I was like, this can't be true. Like, this isn't actually happening. But then after the 6-hour audition in person, after talking with Peter on Zoom and doing all the different rounds, they told me at the end of my audition, and that was like, I felt punked.
Disney has come a long way with their animation style, from Finding Nemo to Finding Dory to Elemental, creating a believable person made out of water. At the same time, there were some complications and challenges that went with it still.
Early on, we worked with a 2D animator, and he would take really early kind of mock-ups of Ember and draw over them with 2D animation. That really helped us understand maybe what we would mechanically have to build in this 3D world. And one of them was just the sort of figure 8 quality that he would create.
With a special feature release, we get to see what the process was for creating Wade, which examines how the characters came to animated life. This clip focuses on Wade Ripple, voiced by Mamoudou Athie, and delves into how the team created this liquid yet stable form, with an attention to detail that even extended to the back of Wade's transparent head. On the flip side, we also got to look at the animation style of creating a character out of fire. But real quick, make sure you guys check out our Instagram page, linked down in the description. There's a ton of interview moments and memes, so make sure you check it out and give us a follow.
Our close work together with the characters team for the rigging and modeling, and of course the effects department.
That's what the animators see, and that's the final render.
It was really an artistic adventure to discover how loose the pyro could be, how tight to the animation it had to be, and in a variety of settings.
Playing around with pyro effects, the newly developed emotion system, and all the little things that go into a character's model, like their hands, mitten-like or fully fingered, gave the seemingly simple and cartoonish character unprecedented range of movement and expression.
We don't want him to look like a human man body and then just wrapped it in water shade. That's not what we wanted it. We want him to be soft, just like his personality.
He's very round. He has no sharp edges. Fluid is a good word for him.
Her fire wanes and grows, stretches, and petters out, and always reflects Ember's emotional state, all while still looking like organic, real flame.
What does a water character do when they're standing still? What does water look like? What's sort of the internal ecosystem of his water?
So if you think about like trying to make this into a face, it's pretty tricky because there's all this stuff going on back here. And if you want to really see the face, you don't want this.
When Elemental first came out, people were skeptical in what the film was and if it was realistic enough, but Pixar is notorious for creating things and turning them into people with real emotions. Take example Cars, emotions themselves, from Inside Out and Bugs. It's clear that the team did well at doing what they do best.
The first images of Wade were generated with a very realistic water, and that was really useful because Pete saw that and said, I don't want this to be realistic. This can't be realistic, because if you think of water at the scale of Wade's head, it's totally transparent.
Peter Sohn, who actually pitched the idea to Pixar, was previously responsible for directing The Good Dinosaur back in 2015, and believe it or not, right after that film, the production of Elemental started.
The busyness of water, it reflects light, it reflects the environment. Just the reflection of the environment actually creates all this additional busyness. The refraction, what you see through, like behind, also adds all this additional busyness.
Which leads us into our trivia question of the day. The film took 7 years to make in the studio and at home. Story artist Jason Katz shared that the story team finished their part while working remotely at home.
Wade, because he's a transparent character, he's made of water, he's actually super see-through. He's interacting with every light, everything right behind him, you can see right through him. We have to be very careful about what you see through him and how to make that visually not too complex, but still feel like he's a water character.
Going into the writing portion, even though this film was inspired by a true story, there still had to be some tweaks within it, including bringing in the writer of previous Pixar project of Turning Red.
The hair is the most active part of Wade, so it has the most simulation in it. We started a little bit more softer shapes and ended up with these 3 wave shapes we always wanted to see, to recognize even though the hair is going to be moving a lot, Wade's going to be moving a lot. As long as we can sort of feel these 3 wave shapes, we're going to know that's Wade.
Sohn cited romantic films like Guess Who's Coming Back to Dinner in 1967, Moonstruck in 1987, You've Got Mail, and The Big Sick, as recent as 2017, as particular influences when he enjoyed leaning into the rom-com as a storytelling genre.
Early on, like when developing the fire culture, fire and cooking was related, and we thought, well, let's look at some cooking utensils and tools. And one that I loved was this Korean cooking pot, the gamasot pot, and it had a kind of a brim ring on it that was really interesting.
There was this funny drawing that I remember discovering about like a fire and a water character, and that triggering a whole lot of different ideas. And I just couldn't stop drawing these new little things. Because of this, the park that Ember and Wade go to, where she changes her color, is in the shape of the periodic table of elements.
Okay, I love hot food. That pipe squished me all out of shape.
Dang.
That's better.
Break some wind!
Toot toot!
Toot toot.
Toot toot.
Of course, we can also take a look at some of the deleted scenes as well, one that wasn't fully edited, just using storyboards. And it's really interesting to see these kind of things as they get produced and watch just how talented these people are creating these characters from drawings in each and every frame.
Dante, this is Ember. Hi.
Wow, you are handsome.
Pakara akara hesaka okua baki?
Yes, but I need to speak English to get better.
That's what I always say.
You guys are like two peas in a pod.
And he's single.
But we wanted to turn this around to you guys. What are your thoughts on all of these moments? Which one was your favorite? And what are your thoughts on an Elemental 2, if possible at all in the future? Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. Make sure you're subscribed with notifications on for more videos just like this. That's it for today though. We'll see you all next time with a brand new video. Bye guys.
Dude, you have the voice of an angel.